Aloha, everybody. So this vlog is going to be, again, unscripted as it was before, and it's going to be much shorter because I didn't get as much footage as I probably should. I'm going to use this one as a definite learning experience. But getting into it, I went to the Vancouver BCS Cardfight Vanguard Regionals. Again, it's the second time I've gone now. And the formats for this one were day one, it was a singles format. And day two, it was a teams format. Now, I have very little footage for day two, such I didn't even really report for day two. I didn't record anything. That's because as soon as the day started, me and my team were kind of a little nervous, and then it was shotgun over and over and over again. We'd finish a round, on to the next one. Didn't really have a chance to really record. So I do apologize that there's nothing really for that. I will actually say that with the way I'm doing things now for this vlog, I'm probably not going to show too much footage. Probably insert a few things that I recorded of me opening something. I might even put one fun fight that I had with my friend that I recorded. And maybe in this vlog, just to kind of lengthen it out, show you guys a fight. Now, I will say that for day one, for the singles event, it went kind of poorly. And not poorly as in I regret it or I'm upset about it. I didn't do well, but it's not for lack of trying. Now, to get into the meat and potatoes of it right off the bat, again, this is all unscripted, so apologies if this is a bit scattered. I played the Dark States deck, Heartland Room. From those who remember my last vlog, I actually fought this deck twice in the last regional. I actually built it myself. It's a very fun deck. It performed well. The deck was doing great. But it didn't cut the mustard. Or at least I didn't cut the mustard. I did not play as good as I could. I made small mistakes here and there, and it cost me. Round one, I fought what we lovingly in the game call Aichi-Con. It's the Blaster Blade Aichi Icon deck. I came out the ball swinging with a strong early start, but I made too many mistakes, and we lost. It happens. For a little bit of information on that one, if anybody remembers my previous vlog, I hit my very first attack, the over trigger for Dark States. So in theory, I should have been in a good position the entire fight. But wouldn't you know it, my opponent was just better than me. So, with all the little mistakes I made and not keeping the combos rolling, we lost. Again, I don't blame the deck. I blame my inexperience. I blame myself. I internalize it. I can be a better player. I actually stepped up a bit in the next day doing that on day two. But that's when we talk about day two. Second round, I fought the Dark States Odium deck. Now, one of my friends plays that deck quite a lot, and so I have experience with it, but I wasn't experienced specifically in this matchup, and they hit everything they needed. They had the new card that people really like. It did really well. They played really well. I wasn't prepared for the matchup, and I just crumbled. Again, it's on me. And I'm not really upset about it. I jokingly poked fun at my friend while after the round walking up. He was like, "You didn't train me for this matchup." But in all honesty, it was my own mistake. Round three was the true heartbreaker. Round three, me and my opponent were going at it tooth and nail, and I sadly made a pretty bad mistake on his last turn. And so I basically, in my mind, went, I can't win this fight anymore. I have nothing. I could survive, but there was no point to surviving. Because, as I'll explain, I'll put the little bit of recording here.
Hey guys, yep, round 3 was another loss, but this one was a well-fought one. I just made a mistake to where I had no chance to really kill my opponent, and we would have both lost due to the rules of the game if you enter the time at the end of the round. And so I decided to give it to him to be fair, because I could have survived his attack, but, well, I didn't want to be that guy that makes us both lose or anything like that. So I decided he deserved it, I made a mistake, so I gave him the win. So now I have 3 losses. I'm going to keep doing my best, but honestly, I might actually leave the main event and do a side event, possibly. Because there's actually a Pal World event that's going to be happening. So I might join that. It all depends. We'll have to wait and see. I'm going to keep doing my best.
So like I explained, when it comes to the time rules, the way that Cardfight Vanguard does its time rules is once time is called, you have a few moments before a judge comes over, unless the judge is already there. And basically what it comes down to is, if there is no winner at that point, both players lose. And considering how cool this guy was, he was really chill, and how well he was playing, and the fact that I and myself saw that I'm the reason I can't win, because of the mistake I made, I went, you know what, man? You deserve it. Take it all away. And I gave him the win. I didn't want to take us both down. I wasn't going to be that player. So I took home a 3rd loss. For context, I believe he was playing the Stoicheia Eucria deck. My memory is a bit fuzzy because of how intense that fight was. I don't fully remember. I'm going to be honest with you, chat. But yeah. And then round 4 is where it all came falling apart. Round 4, my opponent never showed up. I won the fight against the chair, chat. I won the fight against the chair. Now, I will say, when I had lost to the round 3, my friend who had also lost had come and talked to me and was talking about what we call dropping out, where when you know you have a pretty bad record and you're not going to make it to the tops, what you can do is you can leave the event, like the core tournament, and do what are called side events. Now, I have some footage of when I was discussing doing some of the side events. I'm probably going to put some of it in here. But the side event that interested me most was there was a Pal World side event for the new Pal World trading card game, also promoted and created by Bushiroad, the people who make Cardfight Vanguard. However, the one event that caught my interest the most was one that required you to have your own deck. I did not at the time. Because the Pal World TCG, because of its Pokemon likeness with Pal World and all that, if you're in the TCG space, you know how bad it is to get Pokemon cards. Well, for Pal World, it's basically the same thing. Well, luckily for me, and I didn't know this till later on in the day, after I'd done another side event, there was a Pal World side event that I could do that doesn't require me to have a deck. And I will make sure to put up that footage of what I got from that right here.
Hey there, everybody. I did the Pal World side event where you get to demo and learn the game, which I was against doing it originally because I was like, oh, I'm going to want to get the game. But now I know I need to get the game because 1, the game is fun, and 2, for participating, I actually almost missed out on. I got a cute little deck box and actually one of the little cards for it. So I'm kind of glad that I actually went back and decided to do it. So I'm going to definitely be using this possibly for my Pal World deck or just any other deck for any other card game. So yeah, got lucky there.
Now, there was a side event I did get to do on day 1 where it was kind of like a little tournament bracket where it was you get 1 win. If you get 1 win, you go up in the bracket and everything. If you lose, you're kind of out of the bracket. They didn't call it single elim like they did an event on day 2, but it was basically single elim. I got, which I didn't show in the footage, despite saying I was going to, so that's probably why I'm not going to put in the footage. I got a pack of sleeves for entry, and I had a possibility of winning a playmat. Now, for the pack of sleeves, they're pretty cool. It's like a Valentine's thing of the main character of the current Vanguard anime, where he's holding a bouquet of roses. I got those, and, well, I didn't keep them. My friend really likes that character, so help my friend out with those. However, in the actual event, I decided to pick up and play one of my decks that I just recently got upgraded that I really enjoy. In fact, if I do show some of the footage, you will actually be able to see the deck box in the corner. However, I lost. I fought another person playing the Aichi icon deck, and I am not used to playing people that actually have that deck fully optimized. All the people that played at my locals were not playing it as well as the people I was fighting at the tournaments. But that's neither here nor there. I don't blame anybody for that. It's just a skill check, and I failed the skill check. I still had a good time in that one. It was a bit heartbreaking, but I mean, still had fun. Now, on to day 2. Day 2 is where we all buckle down. That's why there's like no footage of day 2. Because after some initial practice for the tournament, round 1 began, and it was off to the races. Round 1 was interesting because we fought our friends that we had come to the event with. They were our first round opponents. And we won, but it's a very complicated win. It's basically, our friends decided that they were like, you guys can have the win, because the way that it works is 2 of the 3 members of the team have to win. And I won, my teammate to my right had lost, and my teammate to my left was still in their game when time was called. And that game was completely up in the air. So our friends just went, they thought about it, looked at us and went, you guys take the win and go as far as you can. That way we didn't get a double loss, as explained before. So we won round 1. Now the rest of the rounds were a bit fuzzy. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't really recall too much outside of another round later on. We had to fight another group of players that we know, or at least my opponent was somebody that I personally know that used to frequent my locals. And that fight was intense. So for context, day 2 for playing in the teams tournament, I wasn't playing what you'd call a meta deck. I was playing what you would refer to as a rogue or a pet deck. I was playing the Sibylt Dragon Empire deck. It's a deck that people know about, but nobody really pays attention to, and it is one of my absolute favorite decks of all time. I'll probably put an image of him right up here. I was banking on the fact that I know this deck really, really well, and that I have worked on it and optimized it as well as I can. That's where I can make up for its shortcomings with my skill. And in some of those fights, I definitely did. I'm going to be honest, with viewing myself as a player and viewing the tournament as large, there was only one fight I can say that the deck was the problem. And even with saying that, it wasn't fully the deck. I made mistakes that contributed to the deck's problems. Now, that probably doesn't make sense unless you're a TCG player. Basically, the way it is the deck has a combo. Most trading card game decks have combos they want to do. As I told all my friends and everything, this was the one fight where the combo they see me do every game ad nauseum, I could not do a single time. It was the 1 in 1,000 chance for this deck to never do it. And it happened. And it hurt. I believe that was round 4 when that happened. Now, we still made it all 6 rounds, and we ended with a 3-3 record. Again, I don't fully remember everything we fought outside of the first and the last rounds. And I gotta say that last round is the one that hurts me the most. because the opponent I had to fight personally, where I was the deciding factor, was a returning player. They hadn't played since like the prior two formats. They played in what we call G era, which is a really old format for those who know Vanguard. And I didn't hold any animosity towards him, but I made the mistake of not reading cards and thinking things clearly. I went fully off of what he was telling me for his card abilities, and he was telling me the wrong abilities. So I made drastic mistakes, and I lost really hard for it. And that's what really stinks. I don't blame him. I blame myself, because as a player, even if it is the final round and the pressure's on, that's when I should be taking a look at cards, asking better questions, and looking through it more clearly. And I just didn't do that. And regretfully, I let my team down for that, and I took home our final loss. Now, to sum it all up, day 2 was really interesting, because despite the losses, we still had a good time, and people still were very intrigued by my deck. Because when you play something people aren't expecting, people will take interest. Even if you don't win or perform the greatest, people still take interest that you have the moxie to play this everything. I actually had quite a few people that wanted to take pictures of my deck. Now the deck has changed since then, because I made a few changes after that. But I still really enjoyed it. And then after that, we did another side event. Because yes, even day 2 had side events. It's actually a pretty packed regionals this time. That's probably why I got less footage, and why this recording is so long. Now, the final event I did on day 2 was an actual single elimination tournament. And for that tournament, it was friendly fire for days. Round 1, I was up against one of my friends who's really, really good. He does play a little slowly sometimes, but that's because he thinks things through really intensely. And I managed to basically rob him. We robbed him. So we won the first round, and in the second round, everybody could see Myst fully lock in. I locked in so much, chat. If you've seen me play Dark Souls, where I go fully silent when I am locked in, that is how locked in I was. I was deep voiced. I was asking quick, concise questions. I was thinking things through. And this was all against just my teammate from the dream tournament. I put all the chips down and just went, no, I'm winning. And I won. It was an intense fight. He really enjoyed it too. So it was good for both of us. And then it came all crashing down in round 3, the final round. If I had won, I would have gotten a special shiny promo card. I did not win. And the thing that sucks the most is the reason I didn't win is because I was nice. Now, in a professional tournament experience, like environment, never do what I do, chat. When your opponent makes a mistake and they try to go back on something that would change the course of the game, like, don't rule shirk them. But, like, if it's so far into steps, sometimes it's good to just say, oops, them's the breaks. I let my opponent backpedal on a big mistake he made, so far to where he had knowledge of things in my hand. And, like, that's not what really hurt it. It's just the fact that that one mistake, if I had not let him take it back, I likely would have won the game. But I can't be that beat up about it. Because again, it was still fun, and it was just for a shinier version of a card I got, so can't really hold it against him or me. It just kind of is like, wow, that leaves a sour taste in your mouth at the end, where it's like, you were this close, and you decided to play the nice guy. But, I mean, we're all there to have fun and everything, so why not be the nice guy? I mean, he seemed happy about it, got to show off the card with his friends and everything, so it's not all bad. It just kind of sucks a little bit. But that's the thing about going to one of these events. You have the good times and you got the bad times, and you got to learn from it. And again, it was a side event. As I say, it was a side event. That type of thing's more lenient. if it's in the main tournament and there's a judge there, the judge might get mad at you for letting him go back that far. That's why I say be a bit careful. But overall, I'd say that the tournament was pretty good. Like the entire like regional experience was pretty fun. It was my second time going. And yeah, I definitely want to keep going to these big events and stuff. I've definitely learned a lot about how I'm going to do these vlogs too. So I'm going to definitely make sure to get actual B-roll footage for everybody rather than just you guys seeing me yapping here with sometimes pictures or cut-ins of some footage. But yeah. Now, seeing as how long we have gone, and this is all unscripted, I'm surprised I've been able to yap this long. I'm going to say this is going to be our closing off, which, again, if you guys like these types of vlogs or like these types of videos, I'm willing to do it more. I'm still trying to find my space in the creator thing. I've just been doing my illusions, what I call my streams. So I really enjoy it. If you made it this far, I do really appreciate it. I'm not going to be one of those that's like says, oh, like and subscribe or follow me here. I don't like pushing that type of thing. If you like what you like and you see what you see, you've heard it from enough content creators. I'm not going to be another one and you're putting all the buttons out and stuff for you. You're going to press them if you want to. You're going to press them. You're not going to press them if you don't want to. So if you do, I appreciate it. If you don't, hey, you at least saw this part and I appreciate it all the same. So with that, I'm going to say I'll probably put up a picture of my deck list. I might have to go take one, actually, of the decks that I played. I'll put a picture of all 3 decks that I played for the events, which was my Heart Luru deck, my Nirvana Bogrovon deck that I played in the Day 1 side event, and then my Sibyl deck, which I played in every Day 2 event. Now, with that, I will say, thanks for stopping by, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.